I've heard you like it darker. Come inside and see.
Be more than human.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is J.R. Carrel. I am the author of the More Than Human novels, and today we are here to talk about Stephen King's newest book, You Like It Darker. This is a short story collection, and it comes at such a perfect time because I am in the process of publishing my set of short stories. If you would like to read one of them before it's published, check out my Discord below under exclusive content and you'll get the free short story. Now let's get to Stephen King. Stephen King has been one of my favorite authors. I was actually first introduced to him through The Dark Tower. So I actually, wasn't into his horror novels or any of his other, kind of genre bending things, outside of The Dark Tower, which is completely genre bending. It has pretty much everything in it. Then I started from the beginning. I went with Carrie, Cycle of the Werewolf, Cujo, Pet Cemetery, and a few more. So when I heard he was coming out with a short story collection, I was super excited because I love his shorter books. I really think, yes, some of his longer books are considered some of the greatest of all time. I'm in the middle of right dead center of it, and it's fantastic so far. And people seem to think The Stand is one of the greatest books ever written. But I really do enjoy his shorter works. So I dove right in as soon as I woke up this morning and got into it. Now, I'm not going to hit you guys with spoilers because it just released, but I'll give you a sense of what's going on here. And you might get a little bit of it by looking at my shirt. There's 12 short stories, and most of them, the vast majority of them, are very like, is it magic? Is it mundane? Kind of twists and turns. Not all of them have supernatural things in them, but there is that twist of could it be, couldn't it be? And in particular, my favorite story, maybe my favorite story, is the very first one. He leads off with a banger, just an amazing story called, I believe it is called Two Talented Bastards. And this is like Stephen King at his best, telling a story from a old man's son's perspective, and kind of his son living a little bit in the shadow of his father and his uncle. Both of them very talented either in writing or art, and they're both from this little nobody place in Maine, and somehow they became super popular in their genres, of art. His dad was the novelist, his uncle was the artist, and his uncle sells art for, some of his stuff they said sold for like $3 million, while his dad is a best-selling novelist. And you kind of get how he started off, and they have this weird hunting trip that they go on all the time, and of course there's a major twist in this book. And then you have inside of these other stories, you have murder mysteries, you have maybe some alien stuff going on, and it's all very modern, very much. I've heard that some of these stories had already been published before, but most all the stories seem to take place within the last few years. He brings up COVID a lot in this book, but he doesn't kind of smack you over it if you know Stephen King's politics. But every single one of these short stories gripped me in a different way. I won't say that all of them are home runs, but the majority of them really keep you interested, especially on the front half of these. Like the first like 4 stories are just fantastic. If you like Stephen King, especially if you like his like mostly non-fantasy stuff, you are going to love this collection of short stories. Let me know if you've already dove into it. What is your favorite Stephen King book? And remember, be more than human.